Good afternoon. I'm Attorney Ben Crump, and I, along with Attorney Natalie Jackson, have the honor of representing the family of 16-year-old Taylor Bracey, who the world now has seen was brutalized by the school resource officer that was supposed to protect her while she was in the custody and care of the Liberty High School here in Osceola County.
That ain't right.
You're absolutely right. It ain't right on any level. We have present with us her mother and father, Miss Jamisha Bracey and Mr. Marquel Bracey. Good parents who never ever thought something like this would happen to their child, what they saw on that video. What parent would think something like this would happen to their child while at school? Each day, parents all over America give their children to our schools and say, help us to educate our children. Help us to nurture our children. Help us to protect our children. No parent takes their child and relinquish custody of them to have what happened on that video by this resource officer who literally picked this young child up and body slammed her, causing her to be knocked unconscious.
My God.
You know, President John Kennedy said that our children are our most valuable resource. We should treat them as such.
Yes.
Did it look like that school resource officer treated this young black girl as a valuable resource?
Shame on them.
Nelson Mandela, president of South Africa, said that history will judge us on how we treat our children.
Yes. Yes.
How will history judge how this officer brutalized this beautiful young lady? Can I use this for just one second?
We got
something for you.
How will history judge the Osceola Sheriff's Department for its employee brutalizing their daughter? I have gotten, Attorney Jackson, over 100 text messages and phone calls from all around America saying, Attorney Crump, if this was my daughter, now you wouldn't have to worry about what the sheriff was going to do, what the state attorney was going to do, because I would not allow that to happen to my child. It is unacceptable. There seems to be some suggestion that whatever happened, I think that's what the sheriff said, Attorney Jackson, we haven't seen all the video. How many times have we heard that in our community? When, you know, LaWanda, it's mind-boggling. You see the law enforcement officer do something egregious, outrageous, brutal, and then they tell us, hold on, but we don't have all the video.
Shame on them.
I scratched my head, Mr. Jones, to try to understand what could she have done to justify being body slammed and knocked unconscious, and then to add insult to injury, to have her handcuffed while she's unconscious. What message is that sending to all those other young children out there who are watching this young black girl be manhandled in this way by the people who are supposed to protect her? And I have to say it because, you know, we cannot come and try to defend the honor of this young girl without speaking truth to power. And the fact that, you know, you had young white men shoot people in schools
Come on now.
and not be treated as brutally as they treated this 16-year-old, 125-pound black girl.
That is not right.
You know, Malcolm X said that the most disrespected person in America is the black woman.
That's right.
He said the most neglected person in America is the black woman. He said the most unprotected person in America is the black woman. And that was over 50 years ago. Do we have to create a new quote about black girls?
Wow.
Because if this were in blatant disrespect, if this was the opposite of how we protect our young black women, I don't know what is. You know, Mr. Bracey, I understand on top of this, to add insult, complete insult to injury, they call your home a detective and said, we want to interview your daughter for the criminal charges that she is facing. Let that sink in. Criminal charges she's facing? No, maybe they have it mistaken. They should be investigating him for the criminal charges he should be facing.
That's right.
I mean, why can this be accepted where he may have our child, and then they say our child is going to be investigated for a crime against him? Like, she assaulted and battered him. Now, did you see the video we saw?
Right.
He assaulted and battered her. So, you know, it is hard to try to look at these parents and say, trust this school system
All right.
that we have here in our state of Florida to go back and know that your daughter will be safe when the person who was supposed to protect your daughter was the person who harmed your daughter. I mean, it's mind-boggling. And you just know that there's a pattern and practice apparently in America that suggests that you can do this to black children. They don't do this to little white children. I mean, we haven't seen any video of a little blonde hair, blue-eyed girl being body slammed by the police. Or I got videos from South Carolina where an officer choked a little girl and slammed her.
Oh, they snatch her by her hair down here.
And yeah, in Louisiana, snatch her by her hair. That's not happening to little white girls, but it's happening to little black girls. And it is unacceptable. It is unacceptable. Is it unacceptable? Taylor Bracey, life matters.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Our children, life matters.
Yes.
And black lives matter.
Yes.
If we don't curtail this right now, it could be far more tragic next time. Because think about it. Who can say when they watched that video and you heard her head hit that concrete floor and that thump, who can say that they didn't wonder whether that little girl was killed? I mean, her body was limp. She was unconscious, lifeless. And the officer still didn't offer any, and this is very hard, especially on her parents. But we're just trying to make the case why when the sheriff says this isn't a big deal or any suggestion of that, now it is a big deal. This was real. Taylor has real injuries. Taylor is going to be affected by this in the future. Her mother is going to explain to you all about her having blurry vision, about her having memory problems, about her having headaches, about her sleep being disturbed, and about her being depressed. It's real, Sheriff. It's real.